Assalamu alaikum. Hi, I'm Shazib Abbas Kumbar. Today I'm going to teach you how to add labels, text box and button in Mission Planner. It is very necessary practice to learn about them and also you know how to they work. So first of all we are going to load the project Mission Planner. After that we are going to create complete forms element which contains label, text box and buttons. As you can see, after loading the project, I am going to run our previous build, and before that I created a form which I am going to demonstrate to you guys. And in this video we are going to step by step implementing that same form as learning practice. As you can see, after the compilation, Mission Planner has going to load. As before that I set some shortcut keys to appearing the form. I set two shortcut keys, Control M and Alt M. With Alt M, I'm going to show you the form which we are going to implement as practice, and the other form appears with Control M. So as you can see, both forms are in front of you. In first of all, we are going to compare this form, and as you can see, the other form is empty, but this form has contained some values. And after pressing that button, the label is updated. After pressing the text box button, box is updated. Then after that, I'm going to enter some text in text box, and you can see label has changed as I entered the text. After that, pressing the label, the text box has changed. After that, we are going to implement two buttons, one with the properties of Windows, second the properties of Mission Planner. So let's get started. First of all, I'm going to navigate the form which we created in our previous video, and I'm going to put all elements on that form. This course I designed in very systematic. You need to understand everything in sequence. You have to need go through all the course videos. First of all, I'm going to put a label, then a button. After pressing the button, label will update it and show the updated text. I'm just opening the labels properties and going to edit the text name which will appear in our form. As you know, the label contains a design name also, but we are going to do it very simple way. After adding the label, I just rename it. After that, I'm going to put the button and just rename the button name. After completing everything, I'm going to add the function that will update the label. Double clicking on the button's function automatically created. But first I'm going to rename it. If button name not fitting, just click on it at the edge of the button and drag it, and you can see the whole name in front of you. After that, double click on the button. A function will appear in front of you and cursor will blink inside of the function, and cursor blinking in center of that. Just write label 1 dot text is equal to, after that opening and closing brackets, and just enter the text which you want to display on pressing the button, and your text must be inside of double quotation, so you have to put your text in between that. After completing the function, need to compile the mission planner. After compilation of mission plan, I just press Alt M1, form 1, which I want to duplicate, and I press Ctrl M. Our form appear that we are creating. After going to testing this, I just click on button that our function is perfectly working now. As you can see, The form 1 function 1 is a replica successfully. Now I'm going to add second function in which text box going to update by pressing a button. First of all, search the text box, just drag it, and after that drag a button to. First I'm going to adjust some properties related to text box, changing the text, the words we want to appear in our text box on appearing this form. For that I'm going to rename the button. After renaming the button, I'm going to double click on it. Same before, I'm going to add the function that will update the text inside of text box 1. Setting the layout of graphics to appearing a well dressed form. Just changing the text of button and double click on it to appear in the function of that button. After adding the text, we are going to compile the mission planner again and going to check our changes. We are going to test our second function by pressing the button and update the text box. As you can see, both are working the same. It means we are on the road of success. Now we are going to create the third function which is related to text box and label. As we enter the text in the text box and label will immediately update it. I drag a text box and a label, just renaming the both. After setting the properties, I'm going to double click on the text box and its function will be created. I just wrote the code to update the label. As we enter the text in text box, then label will update automatically. We didn't need to do any efforts. After completing the code, we are going to compile the mission planner. we are going to test our third function, which is the text box entered text immediately update in the label. As you can see, the both forms appeared in front of you, and we are going to check our third function. So as the first form label updating and second form also doing the same, it means we did a successful job. We are moving further. Our fourth function will the update the text box as we press on our label. I just drag the text box. After that, setting some properties. After adding the text in the text box that will appear after execution of mission planner before clicking the label, and I'm going to drag the label. After setting some properties of this label, I'm going to double click on the label and set function that the click on label update the text box and show your desired text by pressing on the label. Now we are compiling the mission planner. After compilation, we are going to test our function that we recently add in our form. Now as you can see the both forms and both form are working fine. So now I'm going to add two buttons and one text box and a label. By pressing a button, both will update it. I'm going to use Windows theme button and Mission Planner's theme button. One button contains by default settings of Windows. One button contains the properties of Mission Planner. After dragging the text box, I am going to drag label, renaming the label. For adding the button, just search for the button and I'm going to use Windows button. You can see the system Windows button. I just drag it. After setting some properties of this button, I'm going to drag the button from the Mission Planner properties. Again search for the button and select button from the Mission Planner controls components. I will set some properties. After setting the properties, I will double click on each button. As you can know that the double clicking on a button creates its function that will execute by pressing that button. There are no major difference between both buttons, but the Mission Planner button will load the theme of Mission Planner. After setting the properties, I am going to speed up this process. Write the function for each button in which both are going to update the label and the text box. When we press the Windows theme the button, it will show that the Windows Properties button has been clicked. When we press the Mission Planners theme button, then the text appear Mission Planners theme button has been clicked. It is very necessary practice which will we utilize in our Mission Planners development. So it is very necessary to understand how label, text box and button are worked. Now we are going to compile the mission planner, and after compiling the mission planner we are going to appear with the both form, and we are going to test the buttons are they working or not. The both buttons are working fine. Now congratulations, thank you for the watching the video, and I will meet you in the next video. Thank you very much.